two different forms of punishment, right? Where Twitch streamers that embody certain political values are not being punished at the same ratio that an average person would be punished.
This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and...
Is this guy banned? Did they ban him?
Nope.
Let me see if they did.
Hello?
30K to... not him saying hello. Anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear?
Holy shit, guys. If you live in Florida, I have an opportunity
I like
for
that we're still talking about that one, which Asmongold has admitted was a joke. Come on, keep posting the clip. Keep farming it. Keep farming it. Keep farming these fucking rotting crops, dude. Hell yeah.
If you want to earn $100,000, let me know.
It's like you
What a fucking bitch, dude. Honestly, to be like, oh, threatening violence against an elected official. I'm sorry, I'm a goddamn American. I'm a goddamn red-blooded American. That is my right. The tree of tyranny must be watered with the blood of tyrants. However it goes. The tree of liberty must be watered with the blood of tyrants every now and then, okay? Shut the fuck up.
would you tell that joke about Donald Trump?
Again, yes, I would.
Then do it. I mean, you know, again, the simplest answer.
These cuts are so jarring. Poor editing editor. You spend all the time in your editing dungeon pissing in the piss bottles. Come on, do better. These cuts are jarring.
Answer, in my opinion, is most often the correct one. The reason why people like Hassan get unbanned very quickly and they don't get punished as much as other people do. And again, like if they're acknowledging that he did this.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would...
He's not the editor. I'm telling the editor he should be doing a better job. Not fucking Asmongold. Obviously not. Asmongold just gets on his computer, eats rotted food, and then gets off. I'm saying the clown editor, come on, bro. You get paid enough. Do better.
Kill Rick Scott.
Twitch's moderation and Twitch's team, I think, is compromised. I think that they're biased, and I think that they don't have any principles at all other than responding to controversies. Other than that, they won't.
I think Asmongold is...
He made a whole video about this. There were like a couple of things that he brought up about me. Another big issue that a lot of these people have is that they think that the reason that they get banned and the reason that they get in trouble is because of somebody else, right? It's like, it's my fault. It's Ethan's fault. The fact
Who said this? And in like what context are people saying this? Because here's the thing, if people are pushing a false narrative about you saying something that you weren't saying, yeah, that would be someone else's fault. For example, the panel that I got banned for 30 days where I didn't know what was going to be on the panel. I assumed that Twitch would not approve a panel that would get me banned. So I was like, okay, well, this is a fun panel where we say who has the Habibi pass. And what do they say? They cut out the part where it's a Habibi pass tier list. And they, since till this day now, literally call it an Arab to Jew tier list when it's literally not that. When you are pushing this bullshit, yeah, of course, you are the person responsible for getting those people banned, huh? Versus like me just literally saying, Ethan Klein said that his kids got Giardia, which is true. He wasn't speculating. If you watch the clip, he says, my kid got it. My dog had it. And in that same clip says, don't worry, you can only get it by eating my shit to one of his coworkers, or sorry, his employees. That's me propagating misinfo, but him literally lying about whether or not the tier list was about the Habibi pass, that's somehow not his fault. It's like, it's opposite day, dude.
fact is that sometimes people are just victims of their own bad decision making, right?
I think Asmongold is covering this because he wants Twitch to see it. He's done this a couple times in the past couple of weeks. I understand. We are ideological.
I think that that is partially true. And I think that Hassan should look at the bigger picture and see the problem of allowing...
I'm sorry, what?
Somebody else, right? It's like, it's my fault. It's Ethan's fault. The fact is that...
But also, I don't understand Asmongold, or sorry, I don't expect Asmongold to understand this concept because Asmongold actually does get banned for the shit that he says. No one needs to be dishonest about Asmongold because the shit that he says is actually crazy enough that you can just comment on what he says. People have to be dishonest about people like me or Mike or Hassan because the only way to target us is to be dishonest.
This a couple times in the past couple of weeks. I understand. We are ideologically.
I think that that is partially true. And I think that Hassan should look at the bigger picture and see the problem of allowing extremism on the website and how dangerous that's going to be for the website as a whole. My opinion is that if they don't tone down extremism, what will happen if
They don't tone down extremism from the guy who does Holocaust revisionism.
eventually is that there will be an extremist event. That extremist event will cause
Historically, extremists have listed off right-wing content creators and pundits significantly more often than any left-wing creators ever. I'm not sure. I'm sure. Well, I'll say that I'm sure it's probably happened at least once. But I can think of a billion instances where right-wingers were found to have been consuming right-winger content and then enacted violent extremism. I currently, off the top of my head, can't list off in like the past decade or even like year, this happening from like a left-wing perspective. A billion? Oh my God, I can't believe she thinks there's literally a billion. The Tim Pool one, for example, comes to mind, right? But there's a lot more than just the Tim Pool one. All the attempts on Trump's life, I mean, yeah, all of those attempts were from people who were right-wingers. I don't... Sure. I mean, it's not a sure, bro. It's just literally true. I don't know what you're expecting. It's quite literally true. Even Luigi Mangione was consuming right-wing stuff too. I do still think Luigi Mangione was probably left-leaning, and I think it's likely that he was left-leaning. But the problem with the alleged Luigi shooting is that the majority of Americans are like saying free Luigi, which is not great. For like the right-wing idea is what I mean. What proof of right-wingers? Oh, I mean, they get listed in like manifestos. Or they end up being found on like people's phones. There was a guy who did, I think it was a mall shooting. He had like screenshots of like Tim Pool's show on his phone. Tim Pool was like really stressed about it. When you're talking about the shooters, all of those people were registered Republicans. Every single person that, I think it was only 2 confirmed instances of like people trying to assassinate Trump. And both of those people were registered Republicans. And on their social media, they were posting Republican stuff, like pro-Republican stuff. Again, this is just true. Like, unrelated, how do you get your hair to lay so perfectly consistently each stream? Watch your clips on YouTube. Oh, thanks. That's really nice. I actually just started using this, guys. This is like the most foolproof, idiot-proof device I have ever gotten in my life. I can't believe I lived so long without it, but it's like actually so dope. Maybe I'll use it while I'm showing you guys. It's so fucking dope, dude. It's actually so cool. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know what universe you live in where those aren't true. People will condone violence with Hitler's example, XD. You're goalposting, sir. We're talking about whether or not extremists tend to quote left-wingers or right-wingers, and I'm telling you that historically in America, it's been right-wingers. The attack on Rand Paul and the gunman who shot up the congressional baseball game that almost killed Steve Scalise. 1 second. Left-wing extremist with a record of domestic violence who opened fire with during a baseball practice of the Republican team for the annual congressional baseball game. Sure, was James Hodgkinson, was he found to have been quoting left-wing creators in his manifestos? Because that's what we're talking about. I'm saying that Asmongold here is claiming we can't just allow extremism to propagate because the extremism is going to cause real life things that are going to be bad. And I'm saying that historically, the people who have committed violent acts have been committing these violent acts while listing particular right-wing creators in their manifestos. Are there examples of left-wing creators being cited in manifestos? I'll give you time to find something. Or if there, I mean, I would love to see it if there are instances, right? Genuinely, I would love to see it.
Twitch to tighten up their policies and remove content that both he and I do. And if he can't see that writing on the wall, I think that he should pay better attention.
Asmongold and I disagree vehemently on a lot of issues, all the way from the history of Nazi Germany down to the fact that immigrants are not actually contributing to the American crime rates in the way that the Republican administration presents it.
In the way that they present it, but they are contributing to crime rates because they're here illegally. And also, it's not immigrants, it is illegal.
Just like words don't matter anymore at all. The crime rate is going up because they're here, period. Huh? I guess we should stop testing for illnesses because it's making the illness rate go up, right? We shouldn't test for COVID anymore because then our COVID numbers will go down. Immigrants being here also contributes to lots of other things that we get to enjoy that are positive. The fact that your groceries are cheap when you go to the grocery store. When I say groceries are cheap, I mean not as expensive as they should be. If the people that were currently harvesting your strawberries or radishes were getting paid a fair minimum wage, they would be 10 times more expensive. We get to enjoy less expensive fresh fruit and vegetables because we have immigrant labor. I think you're confusing illegal immigrants with immigrants. No, I'm saying the illegal immigrants, and he's classifying them as being contributing. Sorry, he's classifying them as having contributed to the crime rate simply by showing up here, which is like about as inane as saying we should stop testing for COVID because then the COVID numbers will go down. Crime means something to people colloquially. When we say we want to decrease crime, I don't think anyone gives a fuck about the fact that there is someone who will, again, be picking radishes in the fucking Florida heat. I don't think we think of those people and say, these are the criminals we need to get rid of. I think when people think of crime and they talk about wanting to decrease crime, they're talking about violent crimes. These words have meanings between all of us. Hey, have you ever tried to reach out to Asmon, talk about things instead of whatever this is? Yeah, during the Palestine stuff, when he got banned for 2 weeks, I extended an offer. I said that on my stream, I was like, yeah, if you want to talk about things in a non-hostile way, I'd be happy to. All of the people that I've tried to talk about, I have tried to be civil, but they don't want to be civil. So, I mean, this is another thing that's like a misconception with Ethan Klein, for example. I've tried to be civil with Ethan Klein. I spent like a year defending him. And I said when he covered me on his show, the very first time in a very uncharitable way, I reached out, I sent an email, and I was like, yeah, I would love to talk about this issue more if you'd like to. And he never responded. They don't want to be civil. They enjoy being in the news coverage the way that they're currently being in the news coverage.
Aliens, which are two different things. This is, again, it's a deliberate misunderstanding, a deliberate misinterpretation. Same as we disagree about the history of Nazi Germany, the implication of that, right? A lot of implications here. We love implications.
They're not destroying our culture in the way that Asmongold approaches the subject matter.
I've never said it that way, by the way.
There's plenty of disagreements there. And I think that he's doing this deliberately, I will say, in an effort to, shit stir.
Well, every video that I make and everything that you show on your stream, including this here, is done deliberately. Obviously, that's the case.
Try to get me banned, which worked.
The clip's too short.
What?
It's there. And I think that he's doing this deliberately, I will say, in an effort to, shit stir.
Well, every video that I make and everything that you show on your stream, including this here, is done deliberately. Obviously, that's the case.
Try to get me banned. Which
he didn't let him finish. He said deliberately to shit stir. Yeah, obviously every video you show on stream is deliberate, huh? I would hope so. I would hope you're not just like a vegetable and you're just clicking random videos.
which worked.
The clip's too short. Maybe it's out of context. I hope so. I definitely do. Hopefully it's out of context.
Now, once he said this, does Asmongold go back and seek out the context? No, he doesn't. Instead, He follows through, basically packaging this as if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud,
This is, by the way, the clip of me watching the context.
you would kill Rick Scott, is because,
Yeah.
and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still
Yeah, this is
He
the video of me
repeats it.
watching.
also known as committing the largest
Yes.
Medicare fraud
Yes.
in U.S. history.
Yes.
Oh God.
What are we doing? What is this, bro? Are you kidding me? So the context makes it worse. It's disappointing to see him. You know, I did look at the context. There's a video of me looking at the context.
But that wasn't the full context. That's still not the full context. He explains the full context like a minute out after that. He didn't watch before. Like, I think in order to seek out when people do talk about context and when it is a valid criticism, you should give like at least like a minute before and a minute after. Watching 4 seconds after the clip is not providing context.
Context makes it worse. I don't know what he's doing. Would you tell that joke about Donald Trump?
I think people would tell way crazier jokes about Donald Trump, and people have told way crazier jokes about Donald Trump.
He's right. People, but not you. And there's a reason for that. And you know that reason. Everybody knows that reason. And that reason is why you got in trouble. You're absolutely right that yes, there are other people on the internet that say crazy stuff too. That's absolutely true. I think he's right. And again, you don't actually think this isn't a call to violence. What you think is that it's not a big deal.
My statement was hyperbolic.
And also, did he ever delete that tweet, the makeshift gun that they used to kill Shinzo Abe? Twitter made him delete it. Right, okay. So it's a pattern of behavior.
But the intention of it was not.
I mean, I think this is a very good example of like cherry picking or providing certain clips or segments to shitster, like deliberately choosing to cover certain things to shitster, right? So he brings up the makeshift Timu gun. Why does he do it? He does it as a way to shitster, and then his own chat says, "Oh, Twitter made him delete it." But initially, he said, "I don't even think he deleted it." Like you're picking something, framing it in a certain way. Why? To shitster the doohickey, yeah. Instead of saying, "Yeah, but you made this post. I don't know if he deleted it or not." Blah blah blah. He says, "You didn't. You never even deleted this post. I don't even think he deleted this post." That's you deliberately shitstirring. Your framing of certain things will cause more or less shitstirring.
A call to violence directly against a sitting senator, but instead was to show the.
That's good. That's good. But it did sound like that. It sounded exactly like a call to violence. Like if you read the chat after that, I would say that a lot of people were probably thinking the exact same thing. That's what they were typing in his chat at the same time.
The hypocrisy of the Republican Party in terms.
Huh?
But it did sound like that. It sounded exactly like a call to
I mean, it would sound like a call to violence if you didn't know what a call to violence sounded like.
violence. Like if you read the chat after that, I would say that a lot of people would
We don't want to bring up reading chats when your chat literally writes W Hitler.
thinking the exact same thing. That's what they were typing in his chat at the same time.
The hypocrisy of the Republican
You don't want to go ban for ban on chat messages, man. I promise you.
Party in terms of how little they truly care about Medicare and Medicaid fraud, because that happens at the point of the provider.
He brings up a great point, and I think he's right about this. But the issue is that you're muddying the waters and you're damaging your own argument, and you're making yourself seem like an extremist when you're calling for killing people, when you actually have fundamentally a strong argument and a good policy position. And the ironic thing about this is that I remember I saw Hassan's interview with CNN, and Hassan even said, what do Democrats need to do to get people back? And he said, have good policies. It's about how you're communicating.
But he does have good policies. What? Medicare for All is objectively a very popular policy among Americans if you explain to them that they wouldn't lose their healthcare providers. Better schooling is objectively a good policy. Like better funded schools, better funded teachers, that's objectively good policy. Better education, that's objectively a good policy. Free college, again, objectively a good policy. And these are policies that have been shown to be very effective in other countries. That, surprise, surprise, when you fund higher education, you have less nurse shortages, you have less doctor shortages. because people are willing to potentially go in to the medical field, spend a decade of their life trying to get their license or trying to get their doctorate, I guess. Why? Because you won't have fucking 6 figures of debt afterwards. Like, it is, I'm sorry that you don't know any of the policies that Hassan is in favor of, but he's in favor of objectively good policies. Like better transportation is just good policy.
Communicating it in a way that's hostile.
Obviously, I shouldn't have used hyperbolic language, and there's definitely some ownership.
Okay, there you go. All right, problem solved. Yep, he agrees.
That I must take. Some apologies there. I should not have said Mike Johnson should kill Rick Scott. I should have simply said Mike.
He didn't say Mike Johnson. He said you should.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone.
And who was he talking to in this context?
Nope. That fraud is not coming from individuals, it's coming from providers. They're not tackling providers. They're not actually going after like false billing. They are trying to cut recipients, okay? It is not happening at the point of recipients.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid.
Why would he say if you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud? Why would he say that? What does that mean? How does that change his sentence? It's because he's talking to the person that's currently on his screen that is pretending to care about Medicare fraud. He's directly responding to Mike Johnson pretending to care about Medicare fraud and saying, if you actually gave a fuck about Medicare fraud, blah, blah, blah.
Fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay?
And I think that that's what was communicated to the audience, because the audience was spamming things like Luigi.
Johnson should punish Rick Scott, perhaps with the, maximum punishment, whatever that would be.
Right, which is fair. And I think that if he had said that, by the way, there would have never been any controversy about this. The difference is about advocating for vigilante justice versus advocating for a criminal.
Now he forgot about how the language works as a whole KW.
Process. I actually have the same opinion, is that the people that run companies like this should face personal charges. I just don't think you should advocate to kill them. And I try not to go too super hard on it. I'll link you guys the video real quick before I get into it. And
he's linking the Ethan Klein video to his audience because, to show support.
Asmon's trying to rewrite the video he's watching in real time. Not even his editor can save this, I don't think.
Yeah, there's the video. It's the Ethan video.
Perhaps this is the reason why Ethan Klein doesn't talk about Asmongold and his...
I mean, lying is OP. That's why people like Asmongold do it. That's why people like Ethan Klein do it. Because it's OP. Because all you have to do is all you need is for your community to not care enough about the truth and seek it out. Why do you think Fox News is as successful as it is? It's because lying is OP.
Certain regimes of the past.
Which one?
Just let me intervene for one singular moment because my brain is melting. The assumption is that Asmon is linking H3's video to his chat because he's collaborating with Ethan Klein to take down Hassan.
And
he's linking the Ethan Klein video to his audience because,
Newsflash. That's what good reaction channels should always do, but I'm sure you wouldn't know anything about that.
Link the video. There's the video. I'll link the video again. This is so funny. I'll link the video. I'm going to link the video again. Oh, let me link the video. I'll link the video, guys. Give him a...
What is this just supposed to prove that he links the video? Does he think that other people don't link videos?
Give him a like, give him a sub if you like the video.
Oh, I almost forgot. He also pretty much called Asmon a Nazi, but I'll let my employee...
I like that the TTS that this editor uses, because he's too much of a pussy to use his real voice, calls him Assman.
He handle that. Back to you, Baldy.
Ethan, who really cares about anti-Semitism, of course.
This is another, and the obvious implication is that I am a Nazi apologist, right? That's clearly what he's implying. Obviously, you can't say that, because if you say that, it sounds insane and retarded. So the only thing that you can do is imply...
Crazy defense. Insane defense. Insane defense. It's crazy and R-worded. What's this? Where's this Carter clip?
This little rune in his name. And I instantly knew, bro. I knew fucking instantly this motherfucker was a Nazi. Okay? And then I went and looked where his location is. Got Gotaland, Sweden, and North Idaho. Bro, and my fucking Hitler particle detector just went through the roof. Also, followed by Asmongold. What the fuck? Asmongold is following a legitimate Nazi. Yeah, I'll be at TwitchCon.
That and hope that the schizos that watch the video will get the message.
That's why he constantly comes after me, someone he knows has a long track record alongside him at times, attacking anti-Semites and explaining to people what famous dog whistles are and things of that nature. But that'll be for a different day.
People are so ideological. It's ironic that he brings up dog whistles because this is exactly, didn't Twitch ban the word Zionist and using that as a slur because his chat was using it as a dog whistle?
That's not true at all. Which if you actually read Twitch's policy on this, they said that they were going to be adopting Facebook's policy on this that Facebook's had for over 5 years or something like that. That they just don't want you to use the term, quote, Zionist pig, because they feel like that is anti-Semitic. You can still use the term Zionist, you just can't use it pejoratively with other language that might suggest that you are dog whistling. People have been calling other people Zionists since this policy has been introduced, and they haven't gotten banned. Because again, if you actually read Twitch's policy on this, they're not putting an all-out ban on Zionists. They're trying to prevent the Myron Gaines of the world from using Zionist pejoratively on their platform. But I don't expect anything other than misinformation in an Asmongold video.
To be anti-Semitic. I feel like we want to talk about dog whistles. I mean, that's a pretty big one, right? I think that's just a whistle. Let's see here. We got one more.
But spends most of his time simply sitting around and reacting to Donald Trump. He is now officially, by my estimations, a larger right-wing political commentator than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful.
I don't know about that. Now, this is
Wait, what was the claim?
Now, officially, by my estimations, a larger right-wing political commentator than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful.
I don't know about that.
I mean, no, that's accurate. I think Ben Shapiro has more credibility, and I think he is better known amongst older groups, and he's been around for longer, doing politics for longer. So I think he has, again, a little bit more credibility, and he has like an air of like pretending to know what he talks about. And he's also like literally a lawyer, like he understands the law. Whereas Asmongold just doesn't have any appeal with older people. Like there aren't like 6-year-olds watching Asmongold that are relating to a lot of what Asmongold's saying. Asmongold, his primary audience is going to be a lot more younger people, just like mine is, just like Hassan is, right? Who's a lawyer? Ben Shapiro's a lawyer.
Now, I love this glaze, right? I mean, if you look at these numbers, let's zoom in and look at these numbers. Wow, those are great numbers. We love those numbers. Wow. Ben Shapiro is infinitely more well-known than I am, right? He's been doing this for years. He's been on mainstream media for over 10 years. Just because I'm getting more views on YouTube doesn't mean that I'm more popular than somebody. But, okay, that's fine. Let's move on.
Ben Shapiro doesn't really do streaming, right? So he's definitely the biggest political streamer. Like, there's a lot of, I think, other women that do political coverage, but I don't know that there are actually, there aren't a lot of women that do political coverage in the live stream format. So by default, the person who has the largest live stream audience becomes the person who is the largest live streamer of that category.
Than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful in this field.
Yeah, this is basically what I was trying to say. Thank you for phrasing it very eloquently. He is more popular than Ben Shapiro. It's just that Ben has a more established position and name. Yeah. Also, this is correct. You can't use Zionist derogatory the same way that it happened to simp, Kek L. You can still describe or use the word simp. It's not like they didn't turn the word Zionist into the N-word. They didn't say Zionist is a slur. They said you just can't use it in a pejorative sense, where it's obvious that you're being derogatory, right?
His videos reacting to Donald Trump get millions of views, more so than the
Which, by the way, keep in mind,
Arguably, Asmongold's influence is way more nefarious because he sneaks in this right wing shit into a nominally popular gaming channel. Yeah. What does Kek L mean? It's a little emo. It's a guy that's laughing.
It's a joke video that was AI made about them fighting because Donald Trump, if you look at it here, Donald Trump never actually punched Zelensky on camera.
More so than the Daily Wire could ever dream of. Asmongold.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
That was AI made about them fighting because Donald Trump, if you look at it here, Donald Trump never actually punched Zelensky.
Wait. Okay,
that's because I'm getting more views on YouTube.
I have to see this like a third time because the cut is so jarring.
Popular than somebody, but okay, that's fine. Let's move on.
And even the likes of Ben Shapiro, very successful in this field. His videos reacting to Donald Trump get millions of views, more so than the
Which, by the way, keep in mind, this was a joke video that was AI made about them fighting. Because Donald Trump, if you look at it here.
What does that have to do with anything? I mean, it doesn't matter whether or not it's a joke. What we're talking about is how much reach you have.
Donald Trump never actually punched Zelensky on camera.
No one is claiming that Donald Trump actually punched Zelensky. No one is claiming that you're saying that he actually punched him. We're saying that you get to talk about these issues and reach a very large audience pushing right-wing talking points.
More so than the Daily Wire could ever dream of. Asmongold
also as if one video suddenly discounts all the other videos that you make. Like what?
Well, the reason why the videos are so popular because they're not necessarily coming at it from a right-wing perspective. They're coming at it from a nuanced, balanced, reasonable perspective of what I believe to be the average American. And I think that those videos, the reason why they're so popular is that even if people might disagree with the conclusion of them, the video is still respected as an attempt at truth. And I think that's
Is the term an attempt at truth just code for lying? I mean, Asmongold literally like half of the, maybe not half, I don't know what the exact number is. There are so many videos on his channel that are literally just him lying about stuff.
That's the reason why a lot of people watch the content. That's the reason why a lot of people like it. It's because they like seeing at least some degree of attempt.
No, you fucking moron. They like seeing somebody else parrot the talking points that they want to believe in.
At discourse. It's not because I have I'm more educated, I know more about it than other people. It's not because I'm funnier. I tell jokes about it, but at the end of the day, I
would argue it's because you know less about it. I would argue that there's a large portion of people who want to be more informed about politics, but getting engaged in politics feels really daunting.
Main reason why is because I do try to think about how people feel and then express it from their perspective. And
not only is Asmon lying, so is his editor. His editor is clarifying this, but not clarifying how Asmon was wrong about it being Mike Johnson. I mean, his editor is actually. His editor is actually everything I think that's wrong with general political climate today, in that he only cares about being apathetic about everything because nothing matters and I'm just going to get my bag and I'm just going to push whatever narrative I have to because I'm just doing my job, et cetera, et cetera. They just don't care, right? Also, yeah, calling your own perspective reasonable is so dumb because, of course, you think it's reasonable if it's your own political views. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I think that that's a good thing. And that's something that I try to have. That's always been the case. So the reason why these videos are extremely popular is because they do appeal to people that are on both sides of the political spectrum.
No, they don't. There's no video on your channel that's appealing to both sides of the political spectrum. Absolutely not. I mean, this is currently what his YouTube channel looks like. Ignoring all of the gaming videos, which is 1 in 3. I mean, we can read it. Kojima is a genius. This one just came out. Canada's new PM, politics, Johnny Somali. This is politics/drama. Tariffs are the beginning, politics, Trump fears nuclear war, politics, gaming, what is going on in New York City about ICE, politics, left wants Elon Musk dead, politics, Democrats are 100% cooked, politics. These are all within 1 day ago. These are within the past, again, 1 day ago, the last 9 videos. It's crazy. So out of the last 9 videos, 5 of them are objectively political. 6 of them are objectively political. 1 is drama and the other 2 are gaming. And the framing on these is like, I mean, look, it's a thumbnail with Justin Trudeau on the left that says they're losing. And I think, is that Christy Nome? I think a famous dog killer, Christy Nome, saying we're winning on the right. Or you can even see like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And it's someone with like a pink wig on, right? Piers Morgan on Democrats, and the caption is one of the most pathetic. Like, it's very obvious that these appeal to one very particular audience. Where's your apolitical hat? Dude, I need to go get my fuck Joe Brandon hat. Or sorry, let's go Brandon hat. Excuse me, sorry. We all know conservatives don't use such insane language. They only like the F slur. All right? Fuck is too far.
Political content creator on Twitch in general. He's the largest political streamer now. He's double my size. He's always been double my size, but he's now double my size when it comes to political commentary as well. So,
me when I say something that's true. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. How do I pretend like this is not true? Oh my God. What? Yes, thumbnail farm. Yes. Oh. Use this in the next 15 thumbnails. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. The caption's going to be like, Democrats are fucking crazy.
I mean, like, listen, I think you guys are very...
It looks like my white grandpa's big toe. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's thumb phrenology. If you think about it, the big toe is the thumb of the foot.
Very lucky that I am the most humble and modest streamer. This stuff would probably affect an average person's ego a lot. Doesn't affect me, doesn't bother me.
I'm just going to say this right now. There is no such thing as a male creator that is immune to gaining the largest ego.
And so I don't even see it this way. I think he's trying to just say this in order to create a narrative of him being the underdog.
If you want like a better breakdown of this, iDubbbz talks about it on like how a big reason why he couldn't see why he was such a douchebag was because he had a giant ego from having too many fans.
Like farm sympathy.
It's actually his skincare routine, Denims. He's spreading the oils and slime to help the mold cultures grow evenly.
So let's see what the largest free speech defender had to say. He actually voluntarily brings this up in a YouTube video called "What the fuck is Twitch doing?" YouTube videos from 2 days ago with 1 million views. The first 13 minutes of it is just reacting to the latest Ethan Klein video, who is falsely smearing me as someone who doesn't care about Israeli civilians or whatever, which is obviously incorrect. He packaged that up with the Libs of TikTok video to call for my banning.
It was not just Libs of TikTok. I think that this is, again, it's an optics game where you're saying it's Libs of TikTok because Libs of TikTok is kind of a moron.
Listen, Chad, I'll explain it very clearly. Very, very, very clearly. If you were actually trying to frame what he said honestly, you would say, I think he should still be banned because I think Twitch should be careful about allowing people to just use the word kill in context about certain sitting representatives or congressmen. But in reality, he wasn't making an actual call to action. He was talking to Mike Johnson in that and saying, you don't actually give a fuck about Medicare fraud, because if you did, you'd go after this guy. With that said, I still think he should have been banned because Twitch should just be very careful about allowing anyone to use the word kill. It's just a bad precedent to set. That's what honest framing would look like. And I would agree with that frame. That's my position. My position currently is that you should be careful about saying you should kill X blah, 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 blah. Even if the context absolves you, and even if the context shows that you weren't literally making a call to action and instead you were arguing about someone else's hypocrisy. That would be honest framing, but he doesn't want to do honest framing. He wants to say, no, you obviously were making a very serious call to action to kill this guy, and you should be banned for that.
In a lot of cases. And so it's like, well, this person is doing it, and it's about kind of creating it to be a partisan political issue rather than just simply a behavior.
What? Didn't Hassan apologize? The fuck you mean he didn't say it? What are you talking about? Are you talking to me or someone else? I just said he should have been banned for saying kill Rick Scott. Did you miss the last minute of my speaking? Go back in I literally just explained it. What? I'm saying it wasn't a call to action for violence. It was hyperbole to prove hypocrisy on Mike Johnson's part. He still should have been banned regardless, because we need to have better standards about using the term "you should kill X person." What are you talking about? Chad, are you lost?
Behavior that's bad. You know, according to Hassan, it's my fault, it's Ethan's fault, it's Destiny's fault, libs of TikTok's fault.
Anyone who participates in dishonest framing, it is their fault for attracting more attention to something and pretending like it's something that it's not.
Everybody's fault except for his. It seems Hassan has very bad faith towards you. People can be bad faith towards me all they want. The fact is that I'm still going to be here doing my thing. And the more that people are bad faith towards me, and the more that people...
Sorry, I can't get over this chatter. Not using the right words, what do you think that means? Are you suggesting that Hassan said that he didn't say it? What are you talking about? Chatters are saying he apologized for not using the right word. Why would he do that if he wasn't in the wrong? What? Okay. Chatter, are you familiar with the concept of apologizing for something that you did without intent to harm? Like maybe you forget to respond to someone, so you apologize. That doesn't mean that you intentionally didn't want to respond to them. You're apologizing for hurting their feelings by not responding to them. The chatters are saying that he did in fact use the word kill, and he shouldn't have used that word. He should have made his point without using that word. Being in the wrong is still being in the wrong. So are you against like self-defense? It's manslaughter after all. You did kill that person. You're in the wrong.
6.5 hours later.
Are you going to respond to what I said, Chatter? Are you there? Chatter, are you there? No. What do you mean no? What are you talking about? You said being in the wrong is still being in the wrong. I said, it doesn't matter that you killed that guy in self-defense. You still killed that guy. Being in the wrong is still being in the wrong. What do you think about that? I'm going to be honest. I didn't listen to you and I was debating Chatter. Okay, can you respond now? Still didn't listen, but sure, say it again. So you're saying being in the wrong is still being in the wrong. Would you still say that about someone who killed in self-defense? That they still killed someone. It doesn't matter that it was in self-defense. Being in the wrong is still being in the wrong. How is killing someone in self-defense wrong? You killed someone. That person is now dead. You committed manslaughter. That person is dead. You agree that even if you kill in self-defense, you still killed, right? The person is not alive anymore. It doesn't matter what your intent was. It doesn't matter if your intent was to save your own life. Effectively, you killed. You're being a consequentialist and saying being in the wrong is being in the wrong. Killing doesn't make it bad by itself. The fuck is this? So you agree that you can do things without them being wrong in and of themselves, right? That things don't have to be innately wrong in and of themselves. You're saying, why would he ever apologize if he wasn't in the wrong? Because you can apologize without being in the wrong. Just like you can kill without being in the wrong. Doing something that is wrong is wrong. Hassan agrees with me, and Twitch also. I don't think they're reachable, chat. I don't think they're reachable. I think they might be too stupid. I think the concept is too complex. It's really sad, actually. It's really sad. Stay in school, kids. Okay, stay in school.
People are unfair towards me, the more they will alienate average, moderate, and reasonable people. Because average, moderate, and reasonable people do not want to be gaslit into extremism. And so when I see people that are, crashing out or getting really mad, the way that I usually approach that is I let them spin out. Go ahead, do it. And that's fine with me. You just don't need to make calls for violence. I think that he acknowledged that. I'm glad that he did, and hopefully he doesn't do it again.
Dude, I don't want to say anything too crazy here, but I doubt somehow that they're going to tackle that. What are they going to do? Kill Rick Scott, dude? Are you kidding me?
I'm so glad we got a nice 10-second clip there. Who knows what happened before and after the clip? Not me. Not anyone else who watched this video. Waluigi ass fit. But don't you think people can come to the conclusion that Twitch is biased towards Hassan because he was only banned for a day, which resulted in boosting his viewership on the day that he was unbanned? It wasn't really a punishment, it actually benefited him. But that's true of every large streamer. Twitch is biased towards all of their large streamers. That's just true. Everybody has known that that's true. You have to be a total idiot to not know that that's true, to not know that Twitch has a strong prerogative to not ban their streamers for too long. That I feel like everyone suddenly pretended to become more stupid about this topic. Twitch is a corporation. It cares about money. It doesn't want to permaban its largest creators. It wants them to have the smallest amount of ban time for the crimes that they commit. It has nothing to do with whether it's Hassan or whether it's Asmongold or whoever it is. It has to do with how many viewers you get on Twitch. And it's always been that way. And we've always known this, but for some reason, suddenly we've like regressed in the past year into thinking that this is not the case. Which is very bizarre. I don't really understand it. I don't know why we started doing this. Even Fox News reported it as Hassan didn't call for violence and instead said Republicans would punish by killing him via capital punishment if they cared about fraud. Dude, when Fox News is reporting more generously than LSF, like, please reevaluate, man. Please recognize that maybe you just have a personalized hatred for this person. Why in the world would anyone open LSF? Great question. I was shocked that Fox reported the news accurately. I know. Oh, man. Why is everyone focusing on what Hassan said and not why he said it? Because then people would start sympathizing with him the way that people sympathize with Luigi Mangione, right? That if you point out and if people actually notice that the guy that they're talking about and criticizing is a piece of shit scumbag, then they might start to agree with Hassan, and that would be really bad. Ah, my feet. Man. You know what though? I'm gonna say that I'm glad that Hassan is actually punching back, finally, unlike people like XUC and Asmongold. Because I feel like, man, he's been so generous to a lot of these people for a really long time. And like, he's gotten nothing for it. Like, they're total scumbags to him. Like, I'm sorry. For someone to spend their time trying their best to not vilify you and to try and explain to you why what you said about Palestinians is disgusting, and spend hours talking to you about it, and then your response is to watch one of the most dishonest videos on the planet referencing the Hassan content nuke. Like, man. Who needs enemies, dude? When you have friends like this, right? To them, it would be capitulation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But even, 1 second. Where is it? There was a clip of XUC calling Hassan a piece of shit. Or sorry, no. Hassan calling XUC a piece of shit. Why can't I find it? What the hell? Damn Twitter. Doesn't ever want to show me shit that I actually want to see. Fucking finally,
If
dude.
you smell dog poop everywhere you go, you wake up and you smell shit. Go to the coffee shop, you smell shit. Maybe It's not everywhere else that smells like shit. Maybe you are the one who stepped in the shit. Or maybe you are the piece of shit. And it's not just XQC. A lot of content creators have major egos, myself included. You know, it's understandable.
Yeah. The issue is that Asmon uses Reddit for all of his information. He's too misguided and uninformed to take seriously. I mean, I don't even think, I think that that's too generous. I think he sees that, I think Asmongold is undergoing like a Tim Pool transformation. So hopefully we'll see a beanie within like, I don't know, a year or two. He sees how profitable it is to push right-wing talking points and misinfo. He has no prerogative to stop. I promise you, if these videos weren't getting the viewers that they were getting, that he wasn't getting the clicks that he was getting, he would stop talking about it immediately. He has a prerogative to be dishonest. And he's just following the algo. This is like, and anyone, here's the thing, this is like, if you know any content creators, you know that every single one of them chases algos. Every single content creator chases algos. There's very, very few, every large creator, excuse me, chases algos. There's very few content creators that are big that don't chase algos. There's no reason for him to not do this. Like, he doesn't have a good reason not to, right? So maybe he says his first comment and he's not sure how it'll land, but then he gets a lot of, you would know about that? Yes, of course I would know about that. Yes, I would also put myself in this category. Have you seen how well I have farmed Ethan Klein? It's been great. It's been amazing. Yeah, take it from me. But like, he sees that these videos get clicks, and even if there is never a conscious thought of, oh, this is making me money, I should keep doing this, there is like a subconscious thought there of like, oh, people really like this video. Maybe I was right about this. Maybe I should keep saying stuff like this. People seem to like this. Yeah, okay. And then you keep going and going and going and going.